Luffy's definitely top 5, but I don't think Luffy is ready for this moment just now. It seems like Luffy's gonna have to face off with all of the 5 elders at once. But don't get me wrong, Luffy is definitely strong. He may be, like I said before, already in the top 5. He has to be in your top 10. But right now, I don't think Luffy's ready for this big moment just yet. And I feel like Oda is telling the readers, like, yeah, Luffy is strong with Nika mode, but he's not ready just yet. We still have a long way to go in this One Piece verse. And I think that there's still things Luffy need to learn in the hockey department. So if Luffy lose right here and there, it'll be okay, because we still have a long way to go. If you really think Luffy can win against the 5 elders right now, you'll be out of your mind. If the 5 elders lose, how will the world government look then? Can we say the 5 elders may be the top strongest or the top 3 strongest in the government? Like, if they lose right now, they don't mean nothing to Luffy. The government, the Marines, are no way, shape, and form a threat to Luffy in his game. And plus, we already see the moves that Luffy is using against Jay Garcia Saturn are not working. But mind you, a little hint, it seems like Jay Garcia Saturn have fought on Nika before. Like, he's actually dodged a piece of move. I can't say Luffy did throw him around, but he came back around like he's adapting to Luffy's powers. And we still don't know if Jay Garcia Saturn or the 5 elders fought the last Nika before, right, during the Void Century, or what happened during the Void Century. But it may seem like Jay Garcia Saturn and them have fought Nika and know how to work around his powers. And maybe this is a bit too much for Luffy to fight the 5 elders. Like, maybe there's a reason why all 5 are here right now. Maybe they know it may take all 5 of them to deal with Luffy right now. And we also know that they're not as afraid as Nika as we once thought. We all concluded that the 5 elders are scared of the power of Nika. So maybe Luffy don't know how to utilize the special moves that Nika used back then during the Void Century. But right now, they're not too scared of him. And you see Jay Garcia Saturn is actually keep on attacking him. Oda definitely said this will be a big event that will go down in history. And it's already that with the 5 elders appearing on the earth, on the land, to defeat Luffy. Maybe you can say it's Luffy the reason why they're all down on the land right now, or you can say what actually Jupiter actually said was that they need to stop this streaming happening, that Dr. Vegapunk want to show the world and tell the world about the truth. It all depends on what Dr. Vegapunk think is the truth. And by the looks of it, with the 5 elders actually crashing down on Egghead, it seems like the truth about Emu in the world government. I can say Oda is definitely giving Egghead its reputation to be one of the wildest things that's gonna happen in the One Piece history. And the only thing that will spice this up if Dragon comes. We see that Dragon has been hesitant. Dragon has not been saying anything through these panels when Dragon has been shown. Listen, at the end of the day, Kuma pulled up. Kuma pulled up for his daughter, so why not Dragon pull up for his son? Maybe Dragon feels like Luffy's not gonna make it off this island without him. Dragon has to pull up, and I say Kuma is the reason why Dragon will pull up. Kuma powers can have Dragon come there immediately. Just like how Dragon helped Luffy in Log Town with Buggy, I don't think Luffy will make it off this island if it's not for Dragon, if it's not for the giants. Mind you, by the giants, bro, there are 2 big giants on this island that actually can fight and maybe can hold back the 5 elders. That's Brody and Dory. But I think they cannot go toe to toe with the Gorosei, so evidently it's gonna be a 5 versus 1 ultimately, because the only people that can stand up to the Gorosei are Luffy, and I don't think Sanji and Zoro right now can stand up to the Gorosei, because Luffy's actually toying with them. You know that with that power scaling with Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, it's a big gap. Zoro is taking his precious time with Lucci, and Sanji is so busy trying to get Vegapunk to the right spot. I don't think it's their time to shine just yet. I think it's the 5 elders' time to shine and show the One Piece readers what they actually can do. This broadcast is gonna be out in 10 minutes. I don't think there's nobody that can stop this broadcast. The people, right, of One Piece have to know the truth that Vegapunk is screeching about. This broadcast is gonna stretch from the edge of every blue in One Piece. And also, in my opinion, it is so crazy how the whole world would know about the truth of the government, maybe about Emu, maybe about the 5 elders so soon. We know that Dr. Vegapunk was studying the Void Century, and that's why they want to assassinate him. And it seems like while Jay Garcia Saturn is in his berserk mode, he's speaking with the 5 elders telepathically. Theory goes that they are just one person under Emu. Emu created the 5 elders as one being divided in 5. I don't know know how true that is, but think about their fighting style. They match so well together if they are actually one being. So I don't think Luffy would stand a chance against a coordinated attack from 5 elders. Like I said before, even in these panels, Luffy said to J. Garcia Saturn, so my punches aren't doing anything to you. Don't get me wrong, Luffy is strong, but at the same time, it's doing nothing to J. Garcia Saturn. And my theory is the only person that could damage the 5 elders is this huge Iron Giant. This Iron Giant maybe was created during the Void Century or before the Void Century. So whatever mystic powers that the 5 elders are using, he can definitely counter it. Maybe something in Nika mode that Luffy needs to learn can damage the 5 elders, but it's not right now. Maybe the Giants know something about how to damage the 5 elders and its mystic powers. It could be the case. Maybe the Giants gotta teach Luffy this move during this battle, but the 5 elders are so desperate right now. If Brody or Dory get in their way, one of them will be unalive. And maybe it might not be a risk, but how will the Straw Hats get off the island now? The Gorosei already accomplished one of their missions, and that was assassinating Dr. Vegapunk. So that's also a win for the Gorosei. But if Luffy cannot match up to all 5, and Luffy's actually the strongest person on the island, what is next for the Straw Hats? My theory is this right here. If the Iron Giant is the only person that can damage the 5 elders, that's going to be the person to hold the 5 elders back, for the Straw Hats and company can leave Egghead. And I'm pretty sure the Iron Giant won't be alone trying to fend off the 5 elders. It could be Kuma and it could be one other giant. Also stand back for the Straw Hats can leave. But aside from that, let's talk about how Luffy turned Kizaru and J. Garcia Saturn into a pizza. We all know the sky is not the limit when it comes to Nika mode. The bigger the imagination, the stronger this devil fruit is. The way that Luffy lose Hawk Smash / Thunderclap was top tier, and I think that Kizaru is definitely out for commission this time. And plus, J. Garcia Saturn bounced that technique back and came right back to Luffy. Even Luffy was shocked at this. But if it was anybody else, I don't think they can handle this move. Like anybody like Kizaru, like how he couldn't do nothing but crash in one of the Marine ships. But we see J. Garcia Saturn bounce back and try to attack Luffy. So think about the coordinate attack between the 5 elders against Luffy. I don't think there's no way, shape, and form Luffy's gonna survive this assault between the 5 elders and him. Luffy is just walking the dog with Kizaru. This pit Luffy well above Kizaru and maybe even Kazan with this move. We already know that J. Garcia Saturn is having a hard time with Luffy, but Kizaru is having an even more worse time against Luffy than J. Garcia Saturn. Luffy's imagination is running wild when he's in Nika mode. What else can Luffy do that will surprise us in this Toon Force? There's nobody, I repeat, there's nobody. Seems like they can counter this Toon Force. We see that J. Garcia Saturn is actually adapting to Luffy moves. We see that J. Garcia Saturn can actually counter some of these moves with what he performed after Luffy tossed him. We see how bad Kizaru got damaged when Luffy tossed him into the Marine ship, but we seen J. Garcia Saturn bounce right back like a boomerang. And just think about what if J. Garcia Saturn and rest of the 5 elders and Emu actually fought against the old Nika in the Void Century or before the Void Century. Think about how they already know what Luffy may do when this battle comes arise, when Luffy have to face with all 5 elders. Think about the secrecy that actually the 5 elders will be doing when they facing off with Luffy. And yes, Sabo did get away from the 5 elders and Emu, but Sabo is not Luffy. Luffy have to protect so many people on Egghead because he is the strongest on Egghead. He have to protect everybody. There's no way he can run from the 5 elders unless somebody would sacrifice themselves for the Straw Hats can get away. I'm pretty sure the camaraderie between the 5 elders is going to be on point when it comes to this battle. And this is nothing like Roof Peace on Onigashima. There's no way to actually separate the 5 elders on this small island. They're going to be fighting Luffy as a team joint effort. I'm telling you right now, this is not going to be easy for the Straw Hats to get off this island. This is the most desperate move for the 5 elders all to show up on one island. They're desperate, so they're going to do anything they have to do to make sure that this broadcast do not go out, and maybe we're going to actually get Brody, Dory, the Iron Giant, and Luffy on a joint team to fend off the 5 elders. The good thing about this is I actually think Luffy can take on 2 other 5 elders at once. But let me talk about the 5 elders powers real quick, because in these panels we see there's mystic ruins when they're being summoned. And I think this power was very common during the Void Century. There's so many mysteries around the Void Century that have been lost because of the 5 elders. Maybe the 5 elders, like I said before, suppress so many things of the Void Century, so that it's only things that they know and they're able to do right now. But I think that everybody could use this technique, right? Just because that you only see the 5 elders doing it doesn't mean they're the only people that can do it. And I think the people from the old kingdom actually could use these same techniques that the 5 elders are utilizing right now. And maybe the people that made this up was the old kingdom, the people that consist of the old kingdom. But the thing is this right here. Back in the Void Century, the people that the 5 elders defeated, if they had Nika, if they had the Iron Giant, if they had this everything in their arsenal, this huge massive power, what did the 5 elders have that could defeat them? It had to be a betrayal in their midst, and that's the only way I think the 5 elders actually won. But at the same time, just think about that and how massive and how strong the 5 elders really are, and how strong Emu actually is, and how much power they actually possess. And speaking on the 5 elders, it seems like J. Garcia Saturn is the only person that could summon the rest of them on the land, because it seems like the rest of them asked him to summon them, not actually them just summoning their self. It's very hard and tricky to predict what the 5 elders powers is and how it actually works. In this dialogue between J. Garcia and the rest of the 5 elders, it seems like he may be the leader. If he could summon all of them like that, or it only takes one other 5 elders to be on land to summon the rest. But right now it seems like J. Garcia Saturn is the only person that can summon them, and he can summon himself on the land. But give me you guys' prediction on what will happen next chapter. We are on break. I know it's sad to say, but Oda's been giving us banger after banger. He is not playing. He's definitely in his bag. The only thing I hope for is Dragon to make a stand and save Luffy once again, because I don't think Luffy can survive this onslaught between the 5 elders for long. If Kuma pulled up to save his daughter, Dragon has to be the one to pull up to save his son. It makes perfect sense. That is his weakness. He cannot go on if he know that maybe Luffy last stand will be on Egghead. But that is all I had to say about the chapter. 10 out of 10 for the chapter. Oda is not playing, and Oda is definitely giving us everything right now so quick. The Void Century and maybe the truth of the world from Dr. Vegapunk. Like, subscribe to get more of me and more One Piece content, and also follow me on Twitter to get early animations of the videos I post every Sunday. Like always, love you guys, love yourself.